Everybody, and welcome to ESO Daily. I am your host, Mystic Raven. Alright guys, so as to be expected, we have a shitload of players, who had posted about patch notes. It's to be anticipated, giving their opinion, their feedbacks, blah blah blah. I've even done it as well. But in this video, what I want to do is I want to discuss the importance of why crafted sets are really going to be important and how Nirnhoned is going to play a very, very important role in this, making potentially a good comeback on certain builds. Sorry, messages. But this is the kind of the deal what's going on here, guys. So a trait, Sharpen's being cut in half. Right? We know this is the case, and they've offset the Mundus. Okay, so the lover now gives penetrating values, right? So that's a good thing. And now for stamina users, Maul is going to kind of play an important role. So in Giulianos was like, oh, crit, and it's like, in one video I'll go ahead and go over why stacking crit is not a good idea. But after a certain point, not in this video, but he's like crit, and it's like, okay, all right, calm down. But so precise is going to be good if you need crit percentage, right? But you still need penetrating value. So the lover Mundus is going to play an important role depending on how much penetration you have. So, and depending on the sets. Now, it said between the first 4 in the patch notes, it's going to affect penetrating values. But I've never seen a set that has a penetrating value 1 through 4. It's always the 5th. Like Two Fang, Night Mother, Spinner, Spriggan, so on and so forth. So why they would implement that if it doesn't affect it is really beyond me. But hey, whatever. But some of these sets are going to be important as well, because you got to pay attention to how much penetrating value you have. But today, what I wanted to do is get on and just slot my Giulianos, because what I want to show you prior to anything, I'll just go into this. So I have a Nirnhoned Giuliano sword, Nirnhoned staff. It's on the opposite bar. I don't have anything else slotted except 5 pieces of Giulianos. The only reason I want 5 pieces of Giuliano slotted, because I want that 299 spell damage to apply to my character sheet, because this is the reason being. We've been chasing some of these sets that have been giving elemental damages, like for example, if I go down here and we go into the Scathing Mage. Scathing Mage is great because it gets 498 spell damage for 6 seconds, 20% proc, right? Okay, so we have a 20% chance to increase, but the more we're dealing direct damage, it increases, that chance to proc. So we're aware of that. All right, and then we have other sets to take into consideration that also deal with the magic damage, lightning damage, the sunset, the niche, so on and so forth. All of these give spell damage to those properties. But this is the big one. This was the big one, because Giulianos does not affect any type of proc. It doesn't affect. I forget even Giulianos. Let's even talk about Twiceborn Star, Giulianos, Night Mothers, Hunting, so on and so forth. For example, if you have enough penetration, Hunting is going to be a great set. We're going to see probably a reemergence, as much as I hate to say this. We're probably going to see a reemergence of Twiceborn Star, given the Mundus increases. We're going to see increases to all of this, because it's going to lend flexibility to your builds and a lot of switch outs. Because this is why. When I go to my character sheet, I'm getting 1,780 with the Nirnhoned trait slotted, right? Now, if I just go ahead and take off the Nirnhoned, right, I'm just going to take it off, and I'm going to go ahead and slot a Sharpen. It doesn't matter. Somewhere around here. I'm going to keep Giulianos though, but I'm going to do the sharpen. And now watch the drop. So we went from 1780 to 1427. I'm going to get out my calculator. Hold on. I think it's 380 or something like that. Or 3 something. But so we went from 1,780, take away 1,427, and that we're losing 353 spell damage, right, from deslotting it. Now penetration is going to be important. I'm going to remind, but that's 353 spell damage just from deslotting Nirnhoned, putting a sharpen on there. 353. There are only sets that go up to 400. Like, right? The sunset, all this up to, if you have gold. This is why this is going to be really important, guys. Because Nirnhoned with 4% increase is going to capitalize more spell damage than any of the sets that are currently out. Now, if you pair that with a set and you get enough penetration, so let's say hypothetically you use Giulianos and you use Scathing Mage and you increase the proc chance, and then on top of it you have enough crit, right? And then for penetrating value, let's hypothetically say you use the lever, you're making up the differences, right? Hypothetically speaking, and allocate a couple points in the CP system. Now, is this going to work for everybody? No, because stamina users are going to need more pen. They might need an extra piece, but here's what's even more crazy. Now, I'm about to show you guys something even more nuts. Now, this effect isn't going to stack, right? So I'm going to slot another one, right? Now, look, it dropped. It's kind of weird, right? It should have, okay, yeah. So, all of a sudden, oh, that's right, I didn't do it. So, there it is. It should increase. I'm like, wait a minute, it dropped. Alright. Now, I don't know if they're going to fix this, guys. I do not know if it's going to do whatever. But looky, now I got 2 Nirnhoneds and I'm up to 20 or 2,043. Why? Because this is simple, guys. We got 11% on each sword. Now, if they cut this in half, like every other trait does, because like Precise, for example, cuts the sword in half. The Sharpen cuts the penetration in half. If they fix this, if they fix it, it should do half the percentage value, right? So if it's going up to 15%, right, we should see 7.5 on each sword, not 15. But if they don't, and each sword does 15, for Magicka users, this is going to be ridiculous amount of spell power on the stack. This is why I always use Nirnhoned to begin with on a crafted set. Doesn't matter. I do it. Why? Because unlike any other traded value versus Precise or Sharpen, everything, all the other values are cut in half except the Nirnhoned. And how do I know this? Because I get 11% on the staff, but I get 11% on each sword. But if you go into the Sharpen, it's cut in half. Penetrating value total is 5,001. This is 249, right? Same thing with Precise, right? So that's my point, guys. You know, it's like, it's crazy to me. It's crazy how much Nirnhoned will play such an important role if it's not fixed. And even if they fix it, even if they cut the value in half, depending on your build, the crafted sets are going to make a comeback. So you're probably going to see, and I'm just anticipating, letting you guys know, you're probably going to see a reemergence of Twiceborn Star. You're going to see the reemergence of the crafted sets. Giulianos, Night Mothers, Hundings, all paired with a trial set, depending on the trial. So if you're going to be doing vet hard mode, you're probably going to have a crafted set and a trial set again. Depending on other content, you're probably going to see sets still like Scathing Mage, Giulianos, Scathing Mage Twiceborn, if you can get the proc in. But for stamina users, this is more important than that for Magicka. The reason being because crafted sets for stamina has always kept the competition pretty fierce, and it put stamina users in. They were in the front running up until a certain point, and the Magicka users kind of took took over. Why? Because the proc sets got out of control. So proc sets for Magica users just became so overpowered that it kind of pushed stamina users off to the side. And at one time they were telling players, don't even put a stamina user in trials. We all know this. We've all heard it. But now stamina users have finally started making a comeback. And even though the Sharpen's got a nerf and it kind of, I hate to say it, kind of bags stamina users, it lets them pay attention to the point, though, that now crafted sets become more viable. They can put in the malls to make up the penetrating loss value. They can use the lover mundus. They can do all these other things to make up that penetrating value and get the best out of potentially some of the traits that you can't get in drops, like Nirnhoned. So this is important, guys. You want to pay attention. This is why I'm going to come out and I'm putting out this video. Want to pay attention, man. I'm telling you now, Nirnhond's not going to be the all-answer solution. I'm going to say that. But after this update, you're going to see more of a crafted set with a drop set. You're not going to see double stack sets, drop sets anymore. Proc, have kind of reduced some of these procs a little bit and bumped up the values across the board, which now keeps the crafted sets more viable and a lot more, I guess something to look forward to. So what you can do, in my opinion, is go with the drop set, go with the crafted set, just like we've done before. So, and I don't know, guys. I don't know if they're going to fix this. If they're going to up this to 15%, they should cut the value of the swords in half. But if they don't, that's 30% extra weapon or spell damage on your weapons. But hey, don't listen to me if you don't want to. You can listen to Outcast. Precise is better. Going to be better. Or you can listen to Gilliam. Oh, Precise is going to be better. Crit. You can do whatever you want. But just pay attention to your numbers, guys. That's all I'm asking you to do. Pay attention to those values. Keep in mind diminishing returns plays an important part of this game. Besides CP, it's littered throughout the game. And I wanted to push out the point that crafted sets are definitely going to play a very important role. I hope you guys are paying attention. I hope you guys watch what you're doing, because this next update will bring out the reemergence of some of those sets, and I hope you guys didn't throw them away. But if you have any questions or comments, post below. I want to thank you all for watching today, and once again and always, thank you, and have a nice day.